Very cool. All right, good. Wow. It's also interesting, I have to say, just for the audience sake, watching you live. It's interesting how everyone has their own style. But when I had the opportunity to see you with Ace on stage, you all kind of turned to him. You were kind of smiling with him. You all had like your own chemistry with him during certain parts of playing with him. I think he brought it out in all of you. It's kind of interesting if people go back and watch live performances with Ace.
Well, it's a mixture of a lot of things. I mean, first of all, he was our hero growing up. And I mean, me in particular, I'm a guitar player. So, like, he is my guy. So, there's an element of that. There's an element of band chemistry because, like, by the time you saw us, we've been in the band for 6 years or something. So, I mean, like, we're pretty rock solid as an entire unit. And you sort of know how to communicate telepathically at that point and just experiences together and there's just a lot of things that makes a band mesh together and by that time, yeah, man, we were all pretty dialed in with each other.
Yes, and even that night, it's interesting, but you could tell he was still having fun. When you realize, everything he had been through in his life, he came alive when he was on stage. You could see it on his face,
i love
pointing
i
out
love
at the
I
crowd.
loved those nights were fantastic because I'm not going to sit here and tell you every night was like that, but when they were, it was the best.
Hmm. Yes, I thought it was so interesting because the fan base was so alive that night in Connecticut. I was
Yeah,
literally staring at someone who's dressed as the straw man creature, the whole get up, with the shoulder pads and everything and the big platform shoes, The Kiss fan, I mean, they used to call it the Kiss Army. They probably still do, but I
they
mean,
do.
they are true blue. I mean, wow.
I always thought I was one of the biggest Kiss fans in the world until I met some of the biggest Kiss fans in the world. And yeah,
Yes.
man, those guys that come to the shows in the full getup, man, that's commitment
Yes, it's
all
also,
night and that stuff.
yes, oh my. But I mean, just to realize, because in the 70s, I never saw Kiss live. I was probably a little too little for that. But when you really realize sitting next to some of these people in current day that are dressed like that the guys in Kiss had to play, an hour, 2 hour show dressed like that, it just gives you so much more admiration for them, to pull that off. Just the shoes alone, I would be
Oh,
spraining an
absolutely.
ankle.
I've put on jeans boots before, and they are as heavy as they look. And getting back to what you just said, I mean, if you think about it, like on these later tours, these guys were like in their 50s and then their 60s doing that. And if they're doing that in the summer in those outdoor amphitheaters and like down here in the South or in the Midwest where it's 100 degrees
Yes.
outside, Jesus Christ, man. How?
Yes, and not just the clothing, but the pan makeup. They would have to like coat that on them and sweat and everything. It's just really incredible. But they had a vision, and their vision is still there and still alive, and they still, continue to make the impression of,